What's up, guys? Welcome to Why Go Friends English.
As English teachers, the question that we get most is how long does it take? How long does it take to reach fluency? Does it take 6 months? Does it take 2 years? Does it take 10 years? How long does it take?
With over a decade of experience in teaching between the two of us, what we can tell you is that, in short, it's complicated.
There are 3 estimates of how long it takes to reach English fluency. 6 months to a year, about 3.5 years, or 4 or more years to reach English fluency. So which one is it?
We will put some links to these pages so that you can investigate them yourself and do your own research. If you're looking at 6 to 12 months, you're looking at like military grade. You live and breathe the language. You are forced to live and breathe the language. You are studying for 12 to 18 hours a day. Like, you are just in the language all the time. And it's not living there. It's like you are forced to study and break it down and just be like a language wizard of sorts. This is something that's a very structured thing. It's very intensive. That's where you're looking at 6 to 12 months because you're not allowed to do anything else in your own language.
According to Education First, it takes about 1,220 focused hours of study to go from 0 to C2. And to do the math, that could be either 3 hours a day, which would take 1 year of focused intentional study, or 1 hour a day for 3 and almost 3.5 years.
That's a lot of study time. That's not taking weekends or holidays. That's like every single day. So realistically, probably 4 years if you're working and have a life.
And another problem with it is that it assumes that everything is going to be neat, tidy, and packaged in a way that you can consume it and that it's going to stick. Like, that's assuming that you're never going to go backwards, or you're never going to have a holiday, or you're never going to get busy. Like, this is just the raw number. So likely it's going to be more than this.
When we started teaching English, the estimates we were given in our language classes for helping a student get from 0 all the way up to fluency was 4 to 10 years. And there was different numbers for this. There are different variables, different things that impact this. But generally speaking, getting somebody from 0 all the way up was 4 to 10 years because it takes about 2,000 hours of focused study to drill in. Now, this estimate changes based on several variables, so let's get into that.
So some things that can impact how long it takes for you to become fluent in English are your current language in English, your mother tongue or your L1, the current setting that you're in if you are in an English-speaking country.
Whether you have the ability to have focused practice for blocks of time, how long you can study in a day, how consistently you can keep up that habit.
As well as how good you are with languages naturally, how much of an understanding you have in grammar already in your own language, and how streamlined your progression can be. With all these variables, there's no wonder that there's so much variation in how long it takes to reach English fluency.
And there are plenty of things that you can control in that list and plenty of things that you cannot control. It's not like it's your fault if you are speaking a language that has 0 articles in it, and so you have to learn English articles and it's really hard. It's not your fault. It's because that's where you were born. That's the language you learned. For some languages, to learning English, it's more difficult than for others, but that's okay.
So instead of focusing on the things that you can't control, here are 7 tips that can help you reach English fluency efficiently.
So the first one is to study daily. Every single day, even if it's a little bit, just study daily. And that's crucial to being able to build a healthy habit. Consistent habits are key to learning anything, especially if you're trying to rewire your brain in a new language.
Tip number 2 is to keep it short. There's a reason why on our channel we try to keep our videos relatively short. It's because there's only so much that your brain can absorb in one sitting.
Absorb productively in one setting.
Keeping it short and concise means that you can focus more intentionally, you can absorb more of the information, and that you can actually be able to produce more of the information.
The next thing is to live the language. Do as much as you can in your day in English. Listen to English podcasts, movies, entertain yourself with English, listen to English music. You need to be doing English. If you write a journal, you keep a journal, do it in English. You need to be doing it as much as possible so that English becomes part of your lifestyle, because that's how you truly get to where you can think and dream efficiently in English.
Number 4 is to be intentional. Language does not just happen. Language learning rarely just happens to us throughout our day. We have to be intentional. We have to put in work to fabricate, engineer the life around us to help us to learn English better.
More than that, you need to specifically take what you learned in that short lesson you did that day and look for it. You need to be looking for it in the things that you live in English, like in your podcast. You need to be listening for those things. You need to be writing summaries on the things that you're hearing in English. You need to take whatever it is that you learn and apply it to real life as soon as possible and in as many ways as possible. If you are not intentionally doing this, then you are not intentionally using what you're learning. So then you're just downloading things and not doing anything with it.
Number 5 is to shadow, and that is to parrot or to repeat after another person so that you can use natural intonation and natural ways that we say things to become more native-like.
And the easiest way to do this is to watch a YouTube video, and as somebody's speaking, you just stop it and say what they just said with the intonation, with the body language, with the facial expression. I know this sounds silly. It sounds like baby talk, but that's what babies do to learn language. It's something that you can do as well because it's secretly genius, because what you're doing is that you're practicing intonation and paralanguage and facial expressions and the English all at the same time. Though if you look at something from Friends and you're imitating something from Friends, it's not going to work in a business meeting, more than likely, but it is something where you are practicing English in many ways.
And that leads us to our 6th point, which is to use English.
Yes.
We cannot just perceive English. We cannot just receive English. We also have to produce English. If you're not using it, if you're not producing it spontaneously, you will not be able to reach English fluency very efficiently.
That's true. You've got to use it. Use it or lose it. Finally, the last one is getting feedback. This is crucial to being able to know where you are and where you are going. This one usually comes in the form of a teacher or a tutor who is listening actively to you and giving you feedback for you to practice so that you can really improve where you are. Without this, you don't know what's wrong. You don't know where you are in the language. You don't know what to focus on and to improve. Feedback is truly integral to being able to grow in a language.
Those last 2 points kind of beg the question, so should I hire a tutor?
There are tons of free practices and free apps and free courses out there on the internet. There are tons of free things you can do. If you live in America, you can go to a community college and get live classes that way that are free. You have to keep in mind that if it's coming to you free, it might not be the highest quality. Or it might be high quality, but you're getting it from various sources, so it's not in a linear progression that makes sense, that works best for you and the way that you learn language. It's a motley jumble of things that you've just got to do. In this case, having a tutor is great, but tutors are expensive because a great tutor is putting in hours before and after class to make sure that you get that feedback. They're preparing lessons carefully. They are putting together things specifically for you to progress. Private tutors are great, but you do pay for them.
The idea is if you're using these free resources, you are truly slowing down the process that it takes to reach fluency. If you have a teacher and a tutor holding you accountable and planning your progress out for you, it will make your English fluency journey much faster.
It's not that you don't do the work. You still have to do the work, but you're leaving to an expert the work of making sure that you get exactly what you need at the right time. It's kind of like a personal trainer in a way for a gym or working out. Somebody who's a personal trainer will get you to your goals. They're the expert. They know exactly what you need to do and when to get to what you are trying to achieve.
But what if you can't afford a tutor? What's the next best option? What are some things that you can do now to grow in English fluency with a low budget?
Here you can do several things. You can join a community college class if it's nearby, if you live in America, or if you have one available in your city. If you pay to do an online class or group classes, it's going to be cheaper for you than private tutoring, and you're going to get some focused attention. But that curriculum was designed beforehand. It's meant to be a track that everybody goes through. It may not be tailored specifically to to your original language, speakers from your language moving into English. But generally speaking, these are great programs to use, especially to get through the beginning stages. But still, you're not going to be able to use these to get through C2. You're not going to be able to use these to get through to fluency and beyond. So this is up to you and how far you really want to go.
When you reach high intermediate and into advanced, you're going to have to look to other things like real people, not things like chatbots, but real people to help you understand the natural paralanguage that comes with a language.
One of the things that we do here is we have Fluency Fast Track, and this was our way of creating something that people can do consistently every single day. It's practice, there's a community, we meet live every week. It's something that is really important to be able to practice English. Again, this is more of a program that helps people get through, and we're focusing on various things. We've taken the notes from all of the students that we've had over the years in order to build this. So it caters to language learners from several different languages, but it is something that is consistently growing and building every single month. If you are looking for a more of a budget option to be able to practice English consistently and be held accountable and have opportunities for live connections, then click the link in the description below to sign up for Fluency Fast Track.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you strive for English fluency, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.